Hi, I'm Phsiris and this is my second tutorial. So today we're going to be looking at one of the particular ways that I make dark sci and high-tech leads. Back in the day I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how people made those crazy leads that you often hear in high BPM psytrance tracks, and I've always been obsessed with trying to replicate those noises. I now know that the method I'm about to show you isn't the common way of making the dark side leads, but nonetheless it is an awesome method for producing those sounds. So generally I just start with a random synth and produce a random noise that sounds partially cool. Here are two noises that I recorded earlier from Zebra, these two here. And if you haven't heard of Zebra before, then you should check it out. It's a modular synthesizer that I often use in my project and really versatile. So here's the first sound and the second one. As you can tell, they're fairly basic. I'll open up the Zebra patch and just give you a look at how I created the second sound. Here we have the oscillator 1, which then runs into the first filter. The first filter is a high pass filter with the res pushed up, and then the cutoff is assigned to an LFO at 1/4. And yeah, in the oscillator, that's just a generic wave with the pitch / tune assigned to the same LFO that the cutoff is assigned to. So that's how I created the second sound, and the first sound is pretty much the exact same except no LFO. I've just automated the cutoff and the pitch, and instead of a high pass filter, it's a band pass filter. Okay, so yeah, pretty basic. So all you really need to do is find a sound that you are happy with, freeze that, or bounce it down to audio, and then chuck it into a sampler that you often work with. So here you can see the freeze from the Zebra is exactly the same as the second audio sample that I played before. So yeah, to find a sample that you're happy with, basically it just needs to have a loop function, and you can choose the start and end points of this loop as well as how large the loop will be. I like to use the simpler in Ableton as it has everything I've needed to use it for when it comes to making these leads. I'm sure there might be other samplers out there that have even better features, but I haven't been bothered to look into them yet. So yeah, crop the sample to size and then throw it into your sample-based instrument. So here we have Ableton's simpler. Turn the loop function on and off. Choose the start point. Choose the loop length. There's the loop length there. There's the fade ins and fade outs. Turning the filter on and off with its filter functions. The transpose of the actual sample here, and the sample envelopes are pretty much like the basic functions that I use when playing around with these dark side noises. Alright, so here again are a couple of examples that I set up before. I don't really like doing demos on the fly because I'm not really that fast at producing results and don't want to waste a whole bunch of screen time. The two examples below are the exact same audio samples that I previewed before, only now I have fine-tuned the loop points on the sampler and added an additional effects rack to the instrument chain. So here they are playing with a kick and bass. So that's the first one, and here's the second one. And that is pretty much it. The first simple instrument is definitely a sound that I would use in one of my tracks. I guess I should show you the effect rack that I have on a simpler instrument as well. First up, I've just got an EQ8 to cut out some of the lows of the sample, then followed by a multiband distortion, which is Isotope's Trash 2. I find that a really good distortion that I often use. Followed then by Ableton's auto filter set on high pass, which I have macroed together with the filter on the simpler itself. Then followed by another EQ to cut out potentially any of the lows or some of the low mids, the mid lows I mean, that the distortion might have introduced. Then with a chorus played up with just a dry signal to add some more grit to the sound. Then with another multiband distortion, followed by Waves X noise, which I use just to take out not the dirt in the sound, but just more just like unwanted like ambient noise, just to clean up the sound a little bit, just a touch. And then that followed by multiband dynamics compressor, just to compress some of the mids, and the lows don't really come into play, but yeah, just to compress some of the mids to keep the sound in check. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's it for me tonight, and if you have any questions about what's going on here, hit me up in the comments and I'll try and reply to them. Thank you.